Well, the National Milk Producers Federation is endorsing a proposal to modernize the federal milk marketing order. Now, this milestone comes after more than 2 years of discussion. Alan Bjerga joins us now from the group's March meeting for an update. Alan, always a pleasure to have you here. A little background on the federal milk marketing order and its significance for the industry. And I know we've been talking to you about this for some time. It seems like you're finally getting some movement here.
We are getting some movement, and we think it's some positive movement for dairy farmers, as well as the general public and the industry as a whole. The federal milk marketing order system is really what governs milk pricing in the United States. You know, dairy is kind of a quirky industry. It's a perishable product that's transported, you know, for local markets and national markets. And to make sure that we have a playing field where all dairy farmers can thrive, you need to make sure that this system is up to date. It's a tough lift to do, and there hasn't been a major revamp of this since the year 2000, in part because of the aftermath of some of the lessons we learned from the pandemic in terms of strains on the system, in terms of some of the changes in the industry itself that we've witnessed over the last couple decades. We've really been bringing the best minds in dairy together for the last couple years, having more than 130 meetings as a whole to come up with a proposal. Yesterday, the National Milk Producers Board of Directors unanimously endorsed a plan that we think will put this industry on sounder footing going forward. And that's really important because ultimately this proposal goes before the U.S. Department of Agriculture and it's voted on by dairy producers. You know, NMPF represents the bulk of dairy farmers in the United States, and we feel like if we have some strong leadership and some industry support on this proposal, we can get something done that'll help things out for America's producers.
So, Alan, a little more insight into this proposal. What exactly is this saying?
Well, what you're looking at really are some changes in some of the formulas that are used to pay farmers for their Class 1, that's fluid milk. You know, what milk is, it isn't even the same as it was in the year 2000. And then this is about what dairy true milk actually is in terms of the composition and the quality. Farmers are producing higher quality milk than they were a couple decades ago. They need to be compensated fairly for that. You know, there's also structures in terms of shares of funds that are applied toward the cost of processing. You know, that is based on cost structures that it's not only that they haven't changed in the last 2 decades, they've been changing in the last couple of years. We have mechanisms where that information is kept more updated so that you have a good balance across the industry. We're also taking a look at some changes in terms of pricing that are beneficial to farmers in terms of using the milk price as a reference price with other commodities. And we're also just making sure that, you know, we have a fair national system in terms of some of the Class 1 milk pricing differences that are based on where you're at in the country and what goes into calculating that milk check that keeps your farm going from month to month.
Well, Alan, before I let you go, like I mentioned earlier, you're at the March meeting that's taking place right now. Other discussions that is happening in the industry in addition to this?
Well, gosh darn well, we're going to pull hard to make sure that these plant-based beverages get their dairy terms off the labels once and for all. You know, we feel like we got to win with the FDA guidance, but it doesn't go far enough. Also talking about a lot of leadership in animal stewardship, some exciting new things coming down the way on that one. And, of course, sustainability. You know, it's coin of the realm as we head into a new farm bill. We're starting to have some of our policy on that and, you know, ever onward.
Yeah, absolutely. Alan, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for the insight. Alan Bjerga with the National Milk Producers Federation. Always appreciate him joining us.